All right, welcome everyone to another episode here for the Fashion Matrix podcast. My name is Pablo Espinosa de los Monteros, your image consultant, your mentor, your friend, and your host for the next, 20 to 30 minutes. All right. Remember that the Fashion Matrix is a podcast where we talk about waking up from the big lie, from the dream, the matrix, in other words, whether it's in the form of physical work, which is, um, health and nutrition, um, image and style, which is self-esteem and nurturing yourself physically. Also from the form of mental health, being mentally strong, emotionally as well, keeping in touch with your emotions, and of course spiritually as well, because I believe that it is all these four that makes us who we are and makes us so different and make up our consciousness. And we must cultivate and develop our consciousness to operate from a higher consciousness, right? I know I said consciousness a lot, but bear with me. So that's the purpose of this podcast, to wake up and to live up to the standards and the dreams and the goals that you have, not that the goals and the dreams that others said that you needed to have, right? Because that's one of the main reasons why I don't like it. Following the dreams or following the what other people want or expect you to do, which is shit, almost everyone, if not everyone. Realize that from the moment we're born, you're already giving a name, you already are giving given a shit, religion, belief system. Almost everything is passed on to you by your fathers, by your mother, by your family, by the society, by the country that you were born in. And that's pretty sad that we don't take up our own responsibility to live in the way that we want to live, to cultivate our own mind and our own lives, our own lifestyle. So, for today's episode, I want to talk about a very ancient teaching that has to do with the Toltecs, Toltec Wisdom. You guys know that I love talking about connecting with your roots, and the Toltec Wisdom, the Toltec which there's, I don't know if you've ever read the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is a very great book, and it is like gate to towards a deeper understanding on ancient wisdom that can be applied in today's society, in the current society that we live in. And it has to do a lot with the Toltecs. And the Toltecs were a civilization, a way of experiencing, living, thinking life and the cosmos, a cosmology, if that makes sense, from ancient America, right? It was not just one group of people, like, some people think it's just the Aztecs, the Mayas, but the Toltecs or the Toltecayotl would take all of them together. It was like you think of Hindus and you already think about Hinduism, yoga, and all of these things. You think about Chinese or Asian, and you think about Taoist people. You think about, I don't know, Israel, and you already think about Jews and Christianity. Well, in the ancient America, they all shared similar beliefs, similar ways of explaining the world, mathematically, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, right? They all shared a similar society system or similar systems of explaining existence, which is the Toltecayotl. And a Toltec would be a person, like in today's society, we call a yogi, like a sage or a spiritual guru, whatever, like an enlightened being, an enlightened being. Shit, my English. That would be a Toltec, someone that woke up from a big dream and knows a lot of stuff, and they will share it. And this teaching has to do with remaining sober. Right? We have to remain sober. This is because they would say we want to, they would all consider themselves warriors, spiritual warriors, because the way of the warrior, it is um, a life that has to be or requires you to be strong mentally, physically, emotionally. It requires you to be detached. You're not controlled by the outside situations, but you must remain calm and in control of yourself when you're about to go to battle. Ancient warriors of the ancient America, before they even began to um, learn martial arts or to engage in combat with another person, with another being, they were required to first go into a battle with themselves, with their worst enemy. And they would say like that, you're about to go into the La Guerra Florida, the flowering battle or the flowering war. Why would they say that? Well, because after you do all of the exercises and everything that needs to be done on this war, you would flower, you would bloom, you would blossom as a new, better version of yourself. So the point here is they would go into battle, but with themselves, with their worst enemy. And they knew that their worst enemy was never outside of themselves, but it was always inside of themselves. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That the people that some some consider to be savages, some consider to be wild people that don't know anything about, civilized societies. They were not civilized, right? They were more civilized than most people today. And this is because they understood, right? They understood that in order for you to be a better version of yourself, in order for you to function better in society, you had to first control yourself to the best of your abilities, or to get to know yourself, or to get in touch with yourself, with your shadow, with everything that makes you who you are, the good side, the bad side, and everything in between. I find that to be fascinating, because there's not a lot of people that talk about it today, and they were talking about it years and years ago, which is why it makes me so proud of my ancestors and makes me want to reconnect with that even more, to see what I can take that I can apply in today's society. And this teaching that I will give you, that I'm sharing you today, oh fuck, it applies so much in what is happening right now with the global pandemic, the fucking coronavirus, and everything that is happening with the economy and the riots, Black Lives Matter, and everything that is happening currently. This applies. So they would all consider themselves warriors. They all knew how to fucking fight, and they all knew how to stay more calm. Whatever happened outside, because of their training of going into battle with themselves, they understood that, hey, I'm okay with myself. So whether it's something good happening, bad happening, I'm going to be okay with myself. That is such an amazing, powerful teaching. So the teaching goes like this. After the whole training of being a warrior and the warrior mentality, but remember, they were not warriors because they would trying to conquer others. I mean, yes, there was a period of time, like in every time, in every society, there was always people that try to conquer and try to, place themselves above others, force themselves onto others because they're stronger, whatever, quicker, and they feel the need to prove themselves onto others and to conquer them. But they were not all like that. That's why not everyone was a Toltec. I'm not saying that they were all perfect. Fuck no. There were people that, like in today's society, we have a lot of information, yet there's a lot of stupid people, right? Even if you don't go to school in today's world, you can still find a lot of information because of, I don't know, social media, YouTube. You can just form yourself out of free videos, free content on YouTube. I mean, shit. And then, of course, now you can pay people via online to get a mentor or to get an online course. So it's pretty amazing. But still, we find people that are dumb. There's still people that are not conscious. There's people that are I don't know, operating from a lower vibration, and they're assholes. Anyway, well, back in the day, it was the same. They were not perfect. The point I'm trying to make right here is that the warrior mentality is not what you think it is. Always going into battle being aggressive. It was not about that. It was about being focused. It was about being constant. It was about being disciplined. It was about having a untamable willpower, like a warrior. I don't know if you've ever done martial arts. When you do martial arts, you understand that you are not learning that just to fight anybody else. On the contrary, the more you learn about defending yourself, personal defense, uh, martial arts, the less you want to fight, because you know that you can fuck shit up. So it's not that you learn, I don't know, jiu-jitsu, or you learn box, or you learn Krav Maga, and then all of a sudden you want to fuck shit up all around. It's not like that. When you go into a class like that, they teach you how to be more in control with yourself. They talk about not just of the physical side, not just about punching. They teach you about mentality and even spirituality. Before you throw a punch, you must understand why you're throwing a punch and all of these things. So the warrior mentality, that's the type of warrior mentality and lifestyle that I'm talking about. Being focused, being prepared, being ready. So one of these concepts that they would share and they would teach to very young people, that they were initiated into the spiritual warrior path. And it's just the lifestyle that they had. It was remaining sober. That's right. They understood the importance of remaining sober. What do I mean by that? And what did they meant? What did they mean? I'm sorry. It was that whenever you're drunk, you lose your consciousness, or you lose control over yourself, and then your instincts take over. Yes, you're more free. Yes, you're more loose, but then you don't remember exactly what you did. Then you're not always in control of what you're doing. Things just happen when you're drunk. Now, the way that they would explain it, it was not just about alcohol. It was not about beverages. It was something that had to do with the entire way we live, with a lifestyle. Because they understood that when you are drunk with power, then you lose control over yourself, and you allow something outside of you to take control, which in this case would be power or money. When you're rich, right? When you are rich, you're drunk with money. And then all of a sudden you kind of lose yourself with this idea that you can do anything because you have money and blah, 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 blah. So that's the idea that they would share, that it was about remaining sober, not being drunk with sexuality. That's another one. You and I know people that all they care about is tail, following tail. All they care about is fucking pussy. Let me get some pussy and that's it. I'm talking about man. Maybe there's women over there too that all they want is to fuck. And they get drunk with this idea that I need to fuck, I need to fuck, I need to fuck. Anything that will make you lose your composure. Anything that will make you lose yourself because you need that. That's being drunk. Well, that's the way that they would explain it. Being drunk with possessions, being drunk with anything, your state of awareness, it is altered, but in a negative way, because you are no longer the one making the choice. Now the thing outside of you is making the choice for you. In this case would be alcohol, drugs, money, relationships, I don't know, pictures on Instagram. You get drunk with fame and recognition, or you want to get you want to get recognized all the time. You want to feel that emotion of being admired, and that's why you feel like you need to do it again and again and again. And what's the next picture that I have to do or I have to take? What's the next video? What's the next TikTok video that I need to do so that I can get more fame, I can get more followers? That's getting drunk. But they would also talk about, on the other side, they would talk about being also sober when everything's going against you. You know, when you're depressed, when you're poor, you also lose control over yourself, right? Everything is gloomy, everything is dark, everything is black, everything is shitty, everything is sad. We only focus on that, and that's pretty fucking sad. Again, that's pretty fucking sad because we only think, or we only filter everything that is happening through a very obscure filter. And the Toltecs would say that you must remain sober, whether in richness or in poor or being poor, you must remain sober. You must not allow the outside circumstances to dictate or determine your inner self. Because, probably they were aware of the universal laws. If you don't know what that is, go back to one of my old episodes when I talk about the universal laws, the laws of Hermes. And there's one law that says the law of rhythm. You know, it's always going. It goes up. Whatever goes up, it must go down. Whatever goes right, it must go left. So sometimes everything is going good for you, but then guess what? The pendulum always swings, and it'll go to the next, to the other side. And as much as you are rich, then maybe you'll be poor. So you must be ready. You must be preparing yourself for everything, for the good times and the bad times. Because if you don't prepare yourself for that, then you're caught off guard, like coronavirus. What happened? We're not prepared. Most people were not prepared just to be on by themselves in their homes, right? Maybe the majority of you wanted to go to yoga or wanted to take a meditation class, and you never did because you get caught up in the bullshit, in the everyday life activities, paying the bills, this, that, work, children, whatever. And then something happens that it's outside of your control, like the pandemic, the global pandemic, or the coronavirus, COVID-19, and everything that is happening right now, and the riots. And then they force you to wear masks. They force you to stay on your home and all of these things. And if you're not prepared internally, you're not going to be able to change or make an important shift on the outside, because everything happens from the inside. That is something that the ancient always talked about, because it is true. How can you expect to notice a change on the outside when you don't even care or work upon yourself on the inside? Shit. It's like trying to change the image in the mirror without having to actually change the image of you. You're trying to shift. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're, praying and bitching about, like, hey, change. I want a different look. Come on, change. And you don't do it. You yourself. That'll be fucking stupid, right? Well, that's exactly what happens. People don't like what is happening in the world, but they don't do anything inside of themselves. So you must be ready for the good times and the bad times as well. And you must remain sober. That is the whole concept. And what does sober mean? Well, it means remaining calm, remaining conscious, responsible, remaining with composure. What does it mean being sober? That you're in control. You are in control. Your depression is not in control, right? Because of the example that I just gave you. When you're drunk, the alcohol is taking control of you, and emotions and your instincts get the best of you. When you are totally depressed, you don't want to wake up in the morning. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go to work. And guess who's in control? Well, the emotion itself, or the chemical responses, or the lack of the chemical things that is happening in your brain. So who's in control there? Your higher being, or just chemical things in your brain or in your heart or in your gut? I don't know, man. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say right here. When you're sober, you are the one in control. You know what I mean? You are in control. And these things, they still happen, right? It's not that when you're sober, you don't enjoy a drink or two from time to time, but you are in control. You don't like alcohol. You don't become an alcoholic just because you, from every now and then, you drink a beer, or you drink, I don't know, an old fashioned, some whiskey, whatever, some tequila. Or because you're not rich all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have money all the time. Doesn't necessarily that you're not rich or that you're entirely poor. That's a state of mind. It's a way of being. It's a mentality. Are you abundant or not? Some people have a lot of money and yet they're still poor. Inside of themselves, they feel alone. They don't know what to invest in. Like money is in everything. But even if we just talk about money, you must be prepared. Instead of bitching about, I don't have any money, and crying about it and all that. Or you're super rich and you're just flashing it and showing it off and spending the money in a stupid way, instead of investing it. You have composure. You have the ability of remain calm, not get caught up in all of this bullshit, and you choose wisely before you act. That's the purpose of this. You consciously, calmly choose what to do with the money or lack of money, with your emotion or high emotion, low emotion, whatever. Good relationship, bad relationship, everything happens. Everything has a polarity. Not everything is good all the time. So right now, what is happening? Our jobs. We're losing a lot of our jobs. We're changing and shifting from the way that we used to live and work right now, right? The economy is feeling it, and shit, we have a long way to go. The economy will get worse. That's for damn sure. And it's sad. But if we get drunk by the negative emotions, by the negativity that is happening around the world, if we buy into what the media is trying to tell us, then we lose our composure. We stop being sober, and then we get drunk with the negative or the positive, whatever. You've heard the saying that everything that is good is not that good. I don't know how to say it in English. Even the most positive thing can become a negative thing. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I don't remember the saying, but the point is even the things that are so positive and so good, when you exaggerate, when you overdo them or you overtake them, it becomes something negative. Even if it's something good. An example would be water. There's a certain amount of water that you can drink in a day. Otherwise, it hurts you. It hurts your system and your body. Do your own research. Google it, because this is true. I remember when I heard it and when I saw it, I was like, really? I thought that water was the more, the better. No, everything with moderation. It needs to be, excess is not good. It's not good. Everything in excess will damage you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically. So what a great idea the Toltecs and our ancestors here in America had, that you must remain sober in the good and in the bad times. If you're rich, remain sober, remain calm. Don't get caught up in it. Which is why you see people, when they win the lottery, if they're not prepared, they lose all the money that they won. Now, why is that? It's because they were not ready for it. They were not prepared. They were not financially prepared and informed to know what to do with their money. So inform yourself, educate yourself, cultivate your own mind and your own self. Cultivate yourself. I think that's the great word to say. Cultivate yourself. Cultivate your own image. Cultivate your own self-esteem. Cultivate your own mindset. Cultivate your own awareness and consciousness. Because if you don't do that, then first of all, nobody's going to do it for you. because they can't. As much as you hear beautiful podcasts like this, if you have your own personal mentor, as much as you hear them and hear other people giving you great advice, they're not going to be able to do it for you. You're the only one that can actually make it happen. You want to shift, you want to feel a transformation and a shift in your brain, in your mind, in yourself, you must do it. All of these are concepts that unless you put them into action, there's just that concepts. I don't know. Shit, my English is getting worse. So remain sober, remain calm and sober. When you're sober, you're aware. And I don't know if this has happened to you in a party, for example. Well, not right now, but I remember there was times when I was at a party and I didn't want to drink. I didn't feel like it. And it's not necessarily to go to a party, to go to a club and just get drunk and then don't remember anything and then just fucking throw up. You don't have to do it all the time. So I said, man, I could just go out there and fucking dance, talk to people, get to know new people without having to intoxicate myself. That's the word. Don't intoxicate yourself with anything, richness, relationships, whatever. You get the point. So I would be there and I would realize how much of an idiot everyone around me was, because they were just doing stupid, crazy shit. And because I was sober, it would be hilarious. It would be like, damn, look at these people, man. They're saying a lot of shit and they're doing stupid shit because they were intoxicated with alcohol, drugs, whatever. And that was funny. So when you remain sober, you can see things more clearly, right? You can see things as they truly are instead of getting attached and getting all intoxicated by the media, the negativity of the media, right? Telling you, oh, the world is going to end and don't go outside. And it's just pushing on fear. And when you get intoxicated by fear, you don't see things clearly. And maybe you're not as creative as you probably can be. So you cannot think outside of the box and create a new business, connect with new people. Try to figure out a way of expanding and living an abundant way, even in this current society. You only focus on the problem instead of the solution. But when you remain sober, you see through the bullshit and you're like, oh man, you're getting manipulated, man. Come on, relax. Yes, all of these things are true, but there's another side of the coin as well. Everything has a polarity. So if everything is going down the toilet, hey, there's another side too. There's also good things that you can do, and there's also a counterpart, to bring the balance. And if you can be the counterpart, I know that I am. I don't go outside and wear a mask. I have my own knowledge of these things. I have my own information, and I make my own research. I suggest that you do it in the same way. Go and do likewise. Make up your own mind. Make up your own research. Consciously, with consciousness, with awareness, but remaining sober, because there's the other side. On the other side also, I see a lot of conspiracy theories, and there's people losing it. Oh no, everything is the pandemic, and they want to kill us, and they get all worked up and intoxicated with supposedly the other side, the good side, right? And they're trying to separate us with the bad side is fucking Bill Gates trying to put chips into our bodies and trying to, the 5G, and they want to kill us. And the other side is, oh no, it's fucking conspiracy theories people, and they're fucking crazy and they're immature and they're blah, 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 blah. So you want to remain in the middle, you want to remain calm and see through the whole bullshit. Don't get caught up into that. Remain sober so you can see things clearly. And then from that awareness and from that consciousness, higher consciousness and sober consciousness, you can make up your own mind and make up your own decision, which it'll be way better than just getting intoxicated by information about anything. So that is the message for today. That was the teaching that I wanted to share with you guys. Every time I read or study about my ancestors and re-study, because I've already studied a lot of this, but I re-study it because it amazes me how much wisdom, how much information we can take from connecting with our roots, looking behind, but from the perspective, not of not of that one that is longing to go into the past. Like, oh, our ancestors knew better and they were the better, and fucking conquistadors, fuck them, back in the day was the best time. No, it's just to try to understand what they were doing that we can apply in today's society. Because if we lose respect from our past, then we lose perspective of whatever is going to happen in the future. So connecting with your roots is pretty amazing. You find out teachings like this that it's amazing how they were talking about this. I don't know how they fucking came up with these great teachings and great ideas. So I want to honor them and live up to those standards, and even more, because now we live in I want to say better society, but we live in a different society that allows me to connect the dots even greater, and not just take the wisdom of the Toltecs, but now I can take the wisdom of the yogis. Now I can take the wisdom of the Taoists. Now I can take the wisdom of the Buddhists. I can take even the wisdom of Christians and Jews and all of these things, and Muslims, and see the commonalities, see the patterns, and then live up to them to make up a better version of myself, make up a better version of the people around me, and hopefully make up a better version of the collective of society, and build up the foundations of what could be. Instead of just wishing for it, I want to be one of the foundation blocks for the next society, for the next type of world that I would like to live in. Whether I live in it or not, whether it's my children, my grandchildren, whatever, I still want to do it. I want to do my part. And this podcast is one of it, because I don't gain any fucking money from it. Shit. On the contrary, it's costing me money that maybe I shouldn't be spending right now because of the economic situation that we're facing. But still, I want to do it, and I encourage you to do it as well. If you have something positive to say throughout this entire fog of negativity, I encourage you to go out there and do it, because now is the time. We need to hear more good shit. We need to hear more of the positive things and things that will make us think, make us grow, not just entertain us. Yeah, that only goes so far. Making you laugh, entertaining you. Yeah, but then when things get really serious, I would rather be with someone that makes me think, makes me grow, makes me a better version of myself through his or her knowledge, instead of just getting a laugh for 2 minutes, because then I'm empty. Right? So thank you for listening. Be the best version of yourself, and remember that this was the Fashion Matrix podcast, the place where you wake up and become free, become a better version of yourself through people that I interview, through all of these teachings that I hope you enjoy, share, and leave. Put them onto on the test. Test them. Don't just hear about them. Put them to the test. That's what I want you to do, to become a person of your own experience, not just what me or someone else is saying. All right. And also, this gets sponsored by my business Style Systems, which now we have an online shop where we're selling beautiful things. And thanks to that, and thanks to you that is buying all of this stuff, we can keep doing the podcast and the videos and everything, right? And so you can go and visit stylesystems.net so you can find out the image consulting business and the project that is everything that has to do with image, business, products, advertising, or style and fashion. You go there and you find out, and all the online courses, all the beautiful books, or stylesystemshop.com, where this is the online store where you can find out suits, you can find out accessories, you can find out rings, ties, watches, beautiful things, for both men and women. It's really beautiful. And we have new products right now, so go check it out. And of course, my own personal website, where this is my own personal mentoring website. It is pablomentor.com. And you can find me everywhere on social media at Pablo Mentor. And also this podcast, you can find it, remember, everywhere. If you're listening right now, but maybe you want to share it with a friend that doesn't have an iPod or an I'm sorry, an iPod. Damn, I'm old. An iPhone. It's not only on iTunes. It's also available on Podbean. It's available on Google Play. It's available on Spotify. It's available everywhere. All right. So share this message and be the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening. Until the next one.